something of yours.
This was free of its handler. Well, you're a lucky one. Thank you.
So, Elf, that thing you do with your hand.
I can already tell this isn't going anywhere pleasant.
I bet that makes pickpocketing easier.
I'll try it sometime and find out.
How much longer do I have to wait?
There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
This is probably a bad time to discuss my bill with him.
He'll jail you. I don't doubt that. The rest, though... Well, the duty roster will have my next patrol. Sounds like I'll have plenty of time to follow you around. Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
I don't know what the ancient inventors used this place for, but I bet it wasn't making people feel at home.
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnick for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. Satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donnick. A good man. Donnick. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Messiah, please stop kicking the wall. The guard who'll throw you out if you kick that wall one more time.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
What?
Just wondering if the feathered pauldrons are an essential part of the moody rebel mage persona.
What are you talking about?
I'm working on an epic poem about a hopelessly romantic apostate, waging an epic struggle against forces he can't possibly defeat.
What do you mean, can't possibly defeat?
Well, it's not a good story unless the hero dies.
Huh. Well, I just lost a sovereign. Didn't think you'd stoop to our kind again. Or are you not too proud to make some coin?
Pride usually hasn't been my downfall.
Since you stormed off, we don't have anyone who can quite work your magic. If you know what I mean. I sent some men to fence a bit of cargo down at the docks. Haven't seen them since. I'd pay good silver for the safe return of them, or the goods.
Want to tell me what you were selling?
We were trying to make a deal with the Carta. Those Orzammar dwarves. They like luxury items. Fine fabrics, a cask of caviar, an aged wine. Anything one can liberate from a Hightown merchant.
Is this anyone I know?
When you left, we had to take on New Ferelden. Volunteers. Lad named Price was leading them. No one of your caliber.
Where were they last seen?
They were supposed to meet down by the docks, under cover of darkness. I know you're familiar with the concept.
Consider it a deal.
Good. Go to the docks tonight. My boy Price was supposed to meet our buyers for the Carta there. Maybe you can find out what happened.
And here we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
This place reminds me way too much of the Merchants Guild. Madame Lucine runs the place for Harlan. Or with him. Or on him. It's a coterie.
We should move on.
Don't start needling me now. We're busy. Don't start needling me now. We're busy.
I heard you lost something. This it?
I had never thought to see this again. Thank you.
mention this to your mother if you don't.
Ferelden, are you? We are not a charitable organization, Sirrah. If you cannot pay, you will have to take your lonely self elsewhere. Is that clear?
Disgusting.
2 sovereigns for premium service, 1 sovereign for standard service. 50 silver and someone may touch you. Briefly.
I'm not interested.
Of course you aren't. Poverty had nothing to do with your decision, I'm sure.
Master Storms, can you teach me to make a ship now?
Welcome to the Blooming Roads. Personally, I wouldn't say it's blooming precisely, but the name's not my choice.
He didn't really ask me. Wear a feather boa.
All leisure, darling.
The merchandise is up front. I'll get your order in a minute.
Is brooding a sport in Tevinter? Do they hold competitions? Hand out trophies for the best scowls?
I'm not brooding.
Moping, then? You seem like you're a champion at it.
I'm perfectly content at the moment.
Oh, so that's you smiling. Glad you clarified that. I'd never have known. I love doing that.
Not going to happen.
Mead is.
Did I hear correctly? You are an abomination.
Why don't you shout? I don't think everyone heard you.
Do you see yourself as harmless, then? An abomination who would never harm anyone?
Like ripping someone's heart out of his chest?
I did that at the behest of no demon.
So we agree that it doesn't take a demon for someone to be a vicious killer. Good.
Have you seen him?
Karen, was it? No. There are many Templars in Kirkwall, woman.
Please, can you help me? My brother.
Don't worry. Helping people and killing people are what I'm best at.
I hope there will be no call to kill anyone, Sirrah. Karen was always so devout, so idealistic. He was so proud when the Templars accepted him. I pleaded with him not to join the Order, but he wouldn't listen. You hear dark rumors about the Templars and Knight Commander Meredith. And now my brother is gone.
What do people say about Knight Commander Meredith?
Oh, she has many admirers. They laud the service she does in keeping the mages in check.
but others say she is terribly fierce and utterly without pity, that she sees demons everywhere. It is dangerous even to whisper such things.
What have you heard about the Templars?
People harboring escaped mages just disappear. Templars interrogate and threaten passers-by. My friend has a cousin who's a mage, and she says he was made tranquil against his will. You hear more with every passing day.
So you think the Templars, what, killed and ate your brother?
Maker forbid. I don't know what happened. He just stopped writing me. I tried to see him, but Knight Commander Meredith threw me out. They won't tell me anything.
Your brother may indeed be in trouble. What can I do for you?
Perchance. In your journeys, if you find yourself in the gallows, ask the other recruits, Wilmerd and Hugh, about my brother. They were Karen's closest friends in the Order. If anyone knows where he is, it's them. Maker bless you and watch after you in this endeavor.
And Andraste did say, those who harm a house of the Maker have done harm unto the Maker himself. Though the lands suffer 1,000 wrongs, the Maker yet notices the smallest of deeds. Though the lands suffer 1,000 wrongs, the Maker yet notices the smallest
You
of
there,
deeds.
Ferelden. I wish to speak with you. I've heard you have dealings with certain elements in the city. You can get things done on the sly, as they say.
That's a fancy way to put it.
I am a magistrate in this city, and as such, I wish to hire you for a small, albeit important, job. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city. I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive and hand him over to the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
We're both intelligent people. There's something in the ruins, isn't there?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such beasts.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
It would be easier to seal up the entrance and let the beasts take care of him.
I believe in justice, Ferelden, not unbridled slaughter. I will not let prisoners be eaten just because I don't want to get my hands dirty.
I'm sure if you send in enough men this time, they'd do fine.
No. The more guards who know, the easier it is for this to get out. Those men gossip like old fishwives.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
Grigio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Denarius used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
I can't imagine why they would be put off.
You say what's on your mind. I'll give you that. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You could have offered me a glass first, you know.
There's more, if you're really interested.
Perish the thought. How else would you redecorate the walls?
I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I have no home left to return to.
The Blight is over. You could rebuild what you lost. Do you truly not want to?
Even if I wanted to, Kirkwall is my home now.
Having a place where you can put down roots, I understand. Still, to have the option must be gratifying.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Saharan if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
What if he does give up? What then?
Then I go to him. I will not live with a wolf at my back.
Sounds like the right idea to me.
If it comes to that, I doubt it will.
You could track your former master down, I assume.
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive. No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress, fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you want to stick around.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters.
Yes, you should.
Had I known Ansel would find me a woman so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
You sound like you're about to ask for a loan.
Well, this mansion does require some upkeep. Perhaps I'll practice my flattery for your next visit? With any luck, I'll become better at it. We should move on.
Don't start needling me now. We're busy.
Why was your friend made tranquil? Do you know?
No, and it doesn't matter. Nobody deserves that.
I know some mages who deserve that.
Really? Perhaps they should start making slaves tranquil. Then they wouldn't dream of escaping. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Slaves do not attract demons that try to possess them.
Which clearly justifies it. What a perfect solution.
Watch yourself. We don't want trouble here.
What do you mean you can't help me?
This is a domestic matter, Sirrah. If your wife has chosen to leave you, there's nothing we can do.
Ninette is my wife. She's legally bound to me. Bring her back.
We're done here.
Useless. Why are we still paying those sluggards?
You should pay someone else. Like me. I like being paid.
If you can find Ninette, I will gladly pay you. That foolish woman has caused me nothing but embarrassment. She needs to be dragged home.
I can't imagine why she might run away.
Yes, my wife and I don't get along. But that's not the important thing. Her family is getting suspicious. They think I might have done something to her. Even if... well, I just want to make sure they know I didn't do it.
You're more concerned what her family thinks than what happened to her.
Ninette keeps the company of other men, huh? And makes no secret of it. I'll be better off with her gone. Well, as long as her family knows I had nothing to do with it, they would ruin me otherwise.
I can't imagine why she'd leave you. You're such a prize.
It wasn't always like this. We were in love once. She defied her parents to marry me. Sometimes, I wonder if I dreamed those years.
Why would her family think you did something to her?
They think I married her for her inheritance, and they know we have been fighting. They believe this is reason enough for me to hurt her, but I swear, on Andraste's pyre, I have done nothing.
Do you think Ninette might be in trouble?
It's her own doing, gallivanting about with men half her age. She's just trying to show me I am tied to her purse strings.
How long has your wife been gone?
About a month. I wasn't worried at first. She's run off before. Ninette is uncontrollable, you see. She comes and goes as she pleases.
I'll try my best to find Ninette and bring her home.
You should talk to Jethan at the Blooming Rose. I didn't know she visited whores. Until Jethan sent a letter to our house. He even sent her flowers once. Lilies. Her favorite. Talking about it makes my head hurt. Good luck to you, Sarah.
Hear you're having problems with the bone pit. I can help.
Finally someone comes to help me. You look a bit unseasoned, but I hope you'll do. I had to suspend operations. My workers are lost in the mines or have run off. Served me right for hiring Ferelden refugees. I sent others before, but no word. Perhaps they are putting me off. I need someone competent to figure out what is going on.
Your first mistake was naming your mine the Bone Pit.
The locals named the mine. Those fools say it's cursed. That is why I hire Fereldens. They may be dull-witted, but they're not superstitious.
Mind what you say about my countrymen.
I was not referring to you, of course. My workers are a particularly desperate sort. They're lucky to work for me. Few in Kirkwall will hire refugees.
You said some of your workers are Ferelden.
Yes, all of them. An unruly lot, to be sure.
Surely the miners had good reason to leave.
I am at a loss. No miner has reported in, and no one takes me seriously.
The Bone Pit must be dangerous, if people are afraid to venture there.
No, nothing like that. Pay no heed to local superstition. The Bone Pit is mostly harmless.
What's the reward?
I will pay handsomely. The exact amount depends on what perils you face.
I'll head there soon.
The sooner the better. Each day the mine is not running costs me more than those miners make in a year. The Bone Pit is just outside the city. Any map will show it.
I've always wondered, why is every surface dwarf a merchant or a smith?
You left out criminals and hired muscle.
They don't count.
We dwarves are drawn to shiny objects. Sort of like magpies, but with business sense.
You're kidding.
Of course I am. We come to the surface with the skills our ancestors had, Blondie. You think there's a tradition of dwarf woodcutters in Orzammar? Beekeepers? Sailors?
Well, there could be mushroom growers and nug wranglers.
Orzammar will never let those people go topside. Too vital. Also, embarrassing.
Today's my rest day, but I'll make an exception for you. What can I say? Why work if you're not working hard?
I can see why Nanette liked you. You're feisty.
A refreshing change from the pale slug I married. I hear she finally left her worthless husband. Good for her. I just wish she'd said goodbye.
Ghislaine knew about you and Nanette. Did he talk to you?
The man is incapable of talking. He came here, yelled at me, called me a dirty knife-ear, among other things, and accused me of corrupting his wife. We had him thrown out.
Did she tell you she left her husband?
No, I just hope that's what she did. Ghislaine only wants her for her family's wealth. Ninette's a jewel. Elegant, worldly, just the perfect level of depraved. Ghislaine doesn't deserve her.
Do you think Nanette has come to harm?
I hope not. Everyone loves Nanette. Sometimes twice a night. Ghislaine's the only one who might hurt her, and he doesn't have the balls for it.
Were you hoping Nanette would leave Ghislaine for you?
Of course not. I know my place. I offer a service, that's all. Anyway, there was someone else looking for Nanette. A Templar. I believe his name was Emmerich. He wouldn't sleep with me either. I can't see why a Templar would be interested in anyone who isn't a mage.
Any chance Nanette's an apostate?
Well, she certainly cast a spell on me. Anyway, if Nanette was a mage, I think Emmerich would have said so.
Someone else Nanette spent special alone time with, perhaps?
She always liked men in uniform. You could ask him yourself. Emmerich said he'd continue his investigation in Darktown. You could see if he's still there. And if you find Nanette, tell her to drop by and see me sometime. Back again? Sure you're not interested in my many, many services?
I was just passing through.
Have it your way.
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for you to be here?
Oh, I'm sure nobody will notice little old me, don't you worry.
Very reassuring. This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough.
As easy as it is to resort to a sword. You were created as a living weapon. Should you not be trusted with your freedom?
My powers are not controlled by a demon. A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
The ones that are lost should be dealt with.
That is the question, isn't it? Who should deal with them? All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone.
She ended the tyranny of magic and replaced it with an entirely new one.
Considering all that magic has done to my homeland and my race, I weep for your predicament. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
You can't have seen this for yourself.
Daenerys talked about it often. Of course, they say it's forbidden. Behind the smiles and closed doors, however, it's a different matter. To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth any price.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
According to everything I've seen, the Circle can't control mages anyhow.
And what is the alternative? Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason. We should move on.
Don't start needling me now. We're busy.
Don't get stabbed again.
I know your face. I am Tobias, and you are a hawk. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
I found a letter you sent about a friend of his you could not name.
Ah, the Templar. Your father could not write to him directly, lest the Order find out.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwall. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Sounds like he didn't quite understand the job.
Doubt can serve the faithful, even as it vexes them. I fear this has been lost. I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivar Carver.
Someone placed manure here. Again? Another prank by an apprentice, I see.